I'm gonna hit record and here we go. It's time. Welcome you guys. Hi, Jess, I see you coming in too. Everybody, hi. Okay, let's go. It is Thursday, FitFlyFitness, and I'm Jenny. That's Ken. If you could see my cat, he's wandering around in here. Let's go into our breath. So breathe in and out. So if you notice, I like to start our at-home workouts. Breathe in and out without my shoes on. You do not have to do that. I just like to do that for stretches when I do stuff at home. So it's really helpful for me for my feet. It helps me stretch out my ankles. Breathe in. Let's get a fold and start to think about those intentions for the day. Come all the way down. What do you intend for your workout today? We got core flexibility, some strength in here. Breathe out. So as you're breathing and you start to think about how you're going to take up space today, think also about objects. So a couple things. You do not need these things for today, but if you, let's get a few squats here in our breath. If you want extra resistance in your work today, what I'm using, keep breathing and keep squatting at least 2 more times. I have an 11-pound plate here. If you have a dumbbell, anywhere from like 5 to 10 pounds or so. If you happen to have bands, I'm gonna use it for my first block in here. Breathe in one more time for those who can't breathe out. I want to get that squat in before I keep going. So if you are looking for extra resistance, use that stuff. You do not need to have it. It's not kind of required to make these movements work, but they give you a little bit more resistance. You can take it into other work. I'm going to put my band on for the first block and I'm going to use the resistance throughout. So you can, if you would like to, you don't have to. Again, I want to stress that as much as I can. Hi, come on in. I think that's Megan. Come on in, come on in. And let's do our stretches. So a little while to stretch here. Again, I'm barefoot just to kind of get everything stretched out. My feet as well. I'm going to hinge, come all the way down. Let's start in a down dog position. So come all the way down, send your heels toward the floor, pedal out those heels. Maybe rock those hips a little bit. I want to make sure we are getting upper body and lower body stretches, always stretching into our core. So right now, this is a really deep, good hamstring, low back, full body stretch here. And we're working on that shoulder mobility, which we're going to use a little bit today. So right from here, drop down to tabletop position. So we are in tabletop. I'm going to actually face you for this one so you can see what I do. We're going to do a front of the shoulder and chest stretch and then back. So in tabletop, first stretch here, hand all the way out, dip that shoulder towards your mat, bend that opposite arm to just support you all the way down until your shoulder hits that mat. Breathe into it, stretch into that chest and that shoulder. We did so many push-ups yesterday, so this should be helpful in stretching that out a little bit. Breathe into it and then come all the way back up. Let's get the other side. So I'm just resetting in tabletop position and I'm going to set that hand way out. Drop that shoulder toward the floor. Ooh, stretch into it. So my backyard was a little too wet this morning. I was relieved that we're not in the park today just because it might be a little squishy out there. So I'm back in my living room for right now. Whatever space you're in, hopefully it's okay to put your face down by the floor. Come on, all the way up. Now we're gonna get the other side. So in that tabletop, or the other side of the shoulder, I wanna say, I'm gonna open up into that twist up first, and then send it all the way under. Drop the back of your shoulder this time onto the ground, onto your mat. If you want an extra stretch here, pick up that hand that's supporting you and tuck it behind you. Working on that shoulder stretch here. Maybe a spinal twist in here, warming up that back. Uncurl, uncurl again, all the way up. And let's get the other side here. So first I'm coming all the way up into that spinal twist. Then I'm threading it underneath. Lay that shoulder on the ground, pull through that spine, and maybe twist that arm up and over. Open into it, breathe. And uncurl the top arm, uncurl underneath, reach. All right, now we're gonna go through that leg sequence again. We're gonna use that to also stretch into our core. So from your kind of animal here, wherever you're at, you're on all fours, find that raised plank position again. So I'm gonna get my hands under my shoulders. Let's try a couple of those mobility push-ups that we did yesterday. All you're doing is squeezing your shoulder blades together and then opening them up. Just do about 2 of these, because I know it's tough, especially after a lot of push-ups yesterday, just to reach into those shoulder blades, those rhomboids, those trapezoids, just a little bit, see how they feel, and then bring one leg all the way up. Find that runner's lunge position. First stretch we're gonna do here is into the ankle and the calf. All I'm doing, I'm getting kind of messy back here, is rocking out my ankle and rocking back into my heel, so I can stretch the back of the lower part of my leg and my foot. So I like to do this barefoot. I'll give you guys a moment to jog in place and everything in a minute here. And I'll put my shoes on before we start doing our real work. So right now, next stretch, I'm gonna scoot my foot up a couple steps, straighten out that front leg, hamstring stretch. Chest is kind of heading toward your thigh. Maybe your hands are still on the ground. I can almost do it. Just breathe into that hamstring, stretch it out a little bit. We don't want to be too static. So now we're going to scoot that foot all the way back again. Drop that back knee down, point those toes. And before we reach all the way up, angle those top toes out, open into that hip, feel that hip stretch, and face them forward. Raise it all the way up, breathe all the way up into it, into that hip. And then as you breathe out, clasp your hands behind you and open your chest. Feel that stretch go through your core, through your chest, through your shoulders. And next exhale, let it all go. Set that those hands to the floor, tuck your toes under, lift your knee up. One more twist in here before we do the other side. Oh, okay, bring it back down. Send that foot back, bring the other foot forward. Almost done with our stretches here. First, rock back into that heel. Feel the bottom of your foot stretch. I like to do this for my toes. It stretches them all out. And ankle, calf, everything back there, everything at the bottom part of your leg. Scoot that foot up a little bit, straighten the front leg. Hamstring stretch. Just for a moment, get into it, come down, send that foot back again, drop that leg, angle those toes up front, out just a little to really get into those hips. We do have some leg work again. It's finally not sore for Monday. We have a little bit of legs and a lot of core. Upper body always comes into play as well. Let's tuck those, actually leave those toes untucked behind you. Reach up first. Breathe up and in, and then come all the way down, clasp. I find when I do that, I get a little out of balance. So I think about squeezing my inner thighs together. I know they're not next to each other, but just squeeze toward the inside. That helps to regain your balance a little bit. Exhale, let it go. All right, and come on up, hands to the floor. Animal your way up. Feel all of that stretch. That was about 8 minutes or so of stretching. So right now, start to do that jog in place. Just kind of shake through it a little bit. Maybe you're stepping side to side. Maybe you're getting some high knees, maybe some butt kickers. You keep doing that for about 30 more seconds while I slip my shoes on. If you happen to have your shoes on, put yours on too. And then I'll tell you about our blocks. So again, and if you just happen to jump in recently, if you would like extra resistance today, 2 things that will be useful. One is a weight or an object, book anything, anywhere from around 5 to 10 pounds. And then another thing, if you happen to have mini bands, if you happen to have the resistance bands that go all the way around, a medium one of those can be helpful for the first block. And I will show you what to do if you don't have that mini band. And really, everything is almost exactly the same. You don't have to have it. But today, strength, a little extra resistance. So I'm going to join you, hopping around a little bit, tell you about our first exercise. Get all this out of my way. All right, so I am going to slip on my mini band. It's a medium resistance. I'm going to use it all the way through this block. I will tell you, if you use it, you're going to start to really feel it in the outside of your glutes, in the outside of your legs, because we hold it for that whole block. We have it on for that whole block. Each of the 3 exercises, and it really is going to kind of work those glutes. So you want that glute work, grab it, or just pretend you have it. So it is at mid position. Don't worry if you don't have it. An iso squat walk works just as hard if you really get low in it. So our first exercise is going to be down here, taking steps forward. You can go as far as you want, as you have in your room. Steps back, staying as low as we can for 1 minute. When we get to our 10 in our next round, 1 is 1, back is 2, forward is 3, back is 4, and we're going to take 3 steps. So when we do that, we'll get there. For right now, though, all you got to know is you're walking for 1 minute. Drop as low as you can into that squat in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. First block. So I'm showing you forward here what I'm doing because I want you to see feet and knees are tracking with each other. I'm as low as I can go. And my knees aren't coming in, right? Make sure your knees don't come closer than your feet, even if you don't have a mini band. Pretend that you have one. Push out with those knees so that they stay tracking right over your feet and everything out here gets trained. We don't want to train in. It kind of turns your hips and can cause the injury. We're trying to strengthen those hips and turn on those glutes for 30 more seconds here. Breathe into it as you get warm. So if you happen to just get up recently and you're not dropping it down too low yet, maybe next time as we get into it, we're dropping down a little lower. We got 10 more seconds here. Ooh, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so that iso squat, 3 steps forward is 1 rep. 3 steps back is 2 reps in this next round, all right? 10, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. Then you're gonna head down to your mat. If you have that piece of resistance, grab it, push it up, legs up. You lower your legs, you raise them, and then you push that object up towards your toes. So it's a leg raise to toe reach for 10. First, we walk in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So if you have a band, it's on through both of these exercises. So you really start to feel outer thigh work in here, outside of your glutes. So this again, 3-minute block like we've been doing all week. 2 exercises. 3 steps forward is 1 rep. 3 steps back is rep number 2. So count both the forward and the back. We will walk laterally a little bit later. Right now, forward and back. 10 total of those. And when you get to that toe reach with the leg raise, you don't have to have an object. A toe reach, it's pretty good even without it. So that thing is pressed up, legs come down. Try to keep them separated if you can, even if you don't have a band. See what extra that causes in the outsides of your legs, along with that core work. We're already 1 minute in here. 10 of these. You got to do both for 1. Ooh. Breathe all the way through them. We are 90 seconds in. Ugh. Think about pushing that object up, getting that shoulder blade set off the mat or off the ground. And if you have no object, no worries. Still toe reach, body weight, great exercise. We got 70 seconds to go. I'm gonna drop it back down, take those steps. Now I'm starting to get a little warmer, though I will tell you, my glutes are very fatigued from doing this earlier already, so you're gonna feel this later today. These kinds of exercises, so if you're just thinking about getting a set of bands, they're really helpful to have as warm-ups before a run or before a workout, just to make sure your glutes do their work. Otherwise, sometimes everything else can take over. We have about 30 seconds left here. Your hamstrings tend to do a lot of work and then they get really fatigued and tight. Mini bands can help. Make sure your glutes do what they're supposed to do. We have 20 more seconds. Woo, 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, awesome, you guys. Woo! All right. Now, a couple different things. If you have a band, it's a squat to a lateral raise 10 times. Squat, lateral raise, 10. 1 squat, 2 same side squat, 3, 10 to one side, 10 to the other side, all right? So a lot of isometric work here. If you don't have a band, it's a squat to a lateral lunge 10 times, all right? Here we go, 2 seconds. We start with that walk, 10 of that walk. It's our 5-minute block in 3, 2, 1, go for it. So if you have a band, that third exercise is a squat to a lift. If you don't have a band, it's a squat to a lunge. 10 one side, 10 the other side. So that one gets a little more serious regarding isolated work one side and then the other side. Woo, maybe feeling good after that 30-second break. Drop it down a little lower. Breathe. Awesome, you guys. Already almost a minute in here. That second exercise, same 10 with that leg raise and that toe reach. Push that thing up, even if it's just your hands, even if it's just air. Get those shoulder blades off the mat. Notice that suspension that happens when you lower those legs, and then notice that crunch that happens when you go in for the toe reach. Woo, squat to lateral raise, and then squat again to another lateral raise. Good, that's it, excellent. You're doing 10 and 10, or squat to that lunge if you don't have a band for that resistance. Really start to get into that glute. Oh, we're trying to really fatigue it. No more band work after this block. So enjoy it. We're already about 2 minutes in. So on a core day, focusing on those glutes, especially those outside gluteus medius and minimus that go up and on the outside, really connects into that core. It's important that those are strong and that they work. And we are halfway through this block, 2.5 minutes. Woo! That walk front and back. So again, even if you don't have a band, just drop it low. Walk with those knees tracking with your feet, and your feet tracking with your hips. That's your width that you want there. Make sure everything is stable and strong. 2 minutes to go. Woo! Ooh, we got this, we got this. Just about 100 seconds. See if you can get through another exercise here at least. Don't forget about that band and that leg raise. Push out to the sides, turn on your outer legs. It adds a whole dimension to core work if you get those mini bands involved. Woo! 70 seconds. Less than a minute. That 1 minute break is coming up. So really work those glutes. Really work those cores. We're going to be doing some twisting work in our next block. Get 10, get 10. Make sure you're going strong into that hip. Stabilize yourself. 35 seconds. Less than 30. I'm so excited to take this band off. Oh my God, I can't wait. It's in 15 seconds. Less than 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Be super safe. Take your minute. Take off that band. I always have a seat to apply and remove my bands. Otherwise, I'll break my teeth or fall right in my face. All right, coming up. Next block. We start in an isolated isometric squat. And grab your object or no object. Movement is great here too. Here's what it's gonna look like. In a squat, we reach it down and twist, we come back up. We reach it down and twist, we come back up. So we're in that squat. I will tell you at 30 seconds, I have to go all the way back up and take it like a quick moment for my glutes and then drop it back down. We have 15 seconds until we decide. It's gonna be a full minute of this. So I'll tell you, I will have to give myself a little break in here. So feel free to do that when you need to, always, of course. Here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's to the side and then up. This is a new exercise in here, side and up. So what you wanna do is find that squat position, chest up high, even as you twist. So don't kind of hinge and push down with that motion there. You wanna keep that back strong. We're 20 seconds in. And it's almost like a crunch to the side, right? It's almost like a strange down to the ground oblique crunch as you push, push. 30 more seconds. Woo, I gotta take that moment. Try to stay in that squat if you can. You're looking great in there. Bring it down, bring it up. When we get to our next block, we will count both. So it'll be one side is 1, the other side is 2. We got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Oh my goodness. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10 for our next block. And then we add a hip bridge pullover. Now, this is intended just to get that shoulder movement. So if you don't have an object, don't worry. This is more about shoulder rotation to make up for yesterday or to help us with yesterday, just so you get this movement in. But if you got that resistance, it'll be more lat work. Here we go. We start with 10 in that iso squat. 3, 2, 1. One side is 1. Other side is 2. Really work that low squat. Those glutes are working. You work with that band for 10 minutes. Get that crunch in there. Ooh. All right. 30 seconds down. We are in that hip bridge pullover. Squeeze your glutes, stay in the bridge, count your pullovers or your shoulder rotations, right? Bring it down and up, it's 10. Woo! Really squeeze those glutes. Make sure they're being held 1 minute down for that entire set of shoulder rotations. When we get into that glute work, think about what they're doing. I know your hamstrings are working, I know your low back is working, but squeeze your butt to make sure they do your butt cheeks do all that work. In about 10 seconds, we'll be halfway through this block. Get that twist. We do have something jumpy coming up next. Ooh, come on, legs. Ooh, legs are a good distraction from the core on that. We got about 75 seconds left in here. When you go into that bridge, squeeze those glutes, keep them up there, rotate those shoulders, and then bring it all the way back up. That movement is key here. But if you have some resistance, anything to hold, you're adding some work to your lats, to your back, to those shoulders. We've got about 45 seconds left. 30-second break coming up. Keep squeezing those glutes. Woo! 30 seconds. As many rounds, as many reps as possible. 15 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. All right. Same 10 on that hip bridge. And then it's a single leg burpee. It's messy. See what you could do with it. Hands to the ground, foot off the ground. Kick it back, kick it in, stand up, calm down. At any time, use both feet, of course. Make it your standard burpee. 5 and 5. 5 one side, 5 the other side. 5 seconds, here we go. 5 minutes in this block. Grab that object or not. In 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Back to that squat. Back to that twist. So with that single leg burpee and with these twists here, starting to get that side action involved. So that's the intent with that single leg burpee. It is a half burpee, so no push-up required in there. I mean, of course, if you love it, you can. Now, with that hip bridge, if you want to work a challenge, raise a leg for 5 of those pullovers for this block, and then raise the other leg for the other 5. So speaking of working one side and then the other, that's the challenge in this block. Raise a leg, then raise the other leg. If this is too crazy and you're just not at all looking forward to this single leg burpee, just keep both feet down, no problem. Those bands tend to really balance your weight. And what's working, everything on both sides have to work. When we do single side stuff, it kind of corrects imbalances by forcing each side to do its own work. This is so sweaty that I have to take my glasses off. Hands to the ground, get that kick in. It looks messy. Mine are not pretty. I'm gonna come down. I'm gonna send it out all crazy. I'm gonna jump it back in. I'm gonna try to add a little hop up top, but I'll probably fall down, but I'm gonna give it a try. That's the good thing about working out in your own space. Nobody can see you. Nobody's looking anyway, because we're all too busy worrying about not falling down. 5 one side, 5 the other side if you can. Kind of like with that third exercise in the last block, isolate that work. Woo, we're already 2 minutes into this 5-minute section here. Notice hamstrings, glutes are like, wait, we've already done so much work. Why are we jumping? Time to add that power. Almost halfway. Woo, single leg. 2.5 minutes to go in this block. Last block is way more core focused, just so you know. And there's a little bit of a difference in our formatting for that last block. So right now, just power through it. These last 2 minutes here. 2 and 15. Really work that twist. Object or no object, get that twist in. And if you want that challenge with that hip bridge, raise up that leg and get 5 pullovers. Raise up the other leg, get 5 more. Ooh. 90 seconds left in this block, only 90 seconds, a full 1 minute break coming up. Oh. All right, we got this, you guys. Just about 70 seconds. See what you can do with those crazy burpees. Oof. So I'm trying to do all 5 on one side. I'm also trying to stay on one foot, but maybe you come out, jump onto that one foot, stabilize yourself, jump back on one foot, stabilize yourself to stand. Do what's best. 45 more seconds. Notice that side of your core has to do a lot of work when you jump out with one foot. I don't jump out that far. I got kind of a peak up here, right? So I'm trying to stay upright. 30 more seconds. Woo! Eventually we'll be doing these and adding push-ups too. Not today. 15 more seconds. 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome, you guys. All right. Grab a drink. 1 minute break. Last block. Okay. Phew. All right, here we go. So this block looks a little different. It's a minute of an exercise, right into a minute of an exercise, and then a 5-minute block with 5 different exercises that we're gonna do for 30 seconds each. So it's as many reps as possible within 30 seconds, but I'll time us together. So you go through your reps, but I'll time our 30 seconds. Our first exercise in about 20 seconds is an iso squat. One more time, no band, because we gotta get right back into some other stuff after that. We are down in a squat, but we are going laterally here, lateral. This is the only time we do this. This doesn't come back in the other parts of this block. So it's a little different. 1 minute, iso squat, lateral walks in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Drop it down. Take that step to the side. Just see how it feels at this point. If you're loving that weight, you can always grab it and hold it for these walks. That's fun too. Gives you a little more resistance. You can hold it in the middle just to give yourself some more weight. You can put it up here like a goblet. That's tough too. So I'm trying to stay low. I'm just working laterally. Steps to the side. 30 more seconds. Steps to the other side. This is the only time we do this in this block. After this, it's core. Another minute of work coming up before a break. So when we transition in about 15 seconds, we'll be on the mat. 10 seconds, I'm gonna show you. You're gonna come down and arms out. Lean back, come on down in 3, 2, 1. We're gonna go twist, torso rotations. Now, if your object is super heavy, put it down and just use those arms as an object. If you go out here, there's a lot of tension on those abs and on those obliques. If that's just too crazy, tuck it all in. 45 seconds left here. Oh, you will get a little break coming up because I'll show you what we're gonna finish with. It's a 5-minute core block, 30 seconds each. Oh. Ooh, 30 more seconds, a little less, about 25. I gotta put my object down. Trying to keep my arms as my object here. Arms out gives me this long lever that puts some more weight into that low back, into that front core up front, holding you up, and into those obliques. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, awesome, you guys. Take a moment. Coming up to finish. We have all body weight here, unless you can grab and then put down a weight. You can have it near you if you like, but it is just a standard toe reach for 30 seconds. So legs stay up, we come up, we come down, we come up, we come down. 30 seconds of that. Next 30 seconds, hip bridge, up and down, but take one leg and leave it there. Up and down, up and down. Do one side. When we come back around, we'll do the other side. Keep both feet down as your option. Then we'll go into those torso rotations again. We have about 20 seconds, by the way. And then our slow mountain climbers, like earlier this week, we will flip it over and we will bring it up nice and slow. And then we'll hold a plank. We'll do that through 2 times for 5 minutes. We start in 10 seconds. So first thing, all the way down, legs are up. I'm gonna do all of my body weight. If you've got that object and you wanna use it, go for it. 5 seconds, 3, 2, 1. Reach toward those toes, set those shoulder blades down. This is a 30-second set. Your AMRAP is just as many reps as you can get in this 30 seconds before we get to that single leg hip bridge. Breathe. So without that object, I find I can get a much higher range. I'm reaching almost to my toes and then laying it back down. I can also maybe hold it for a second. 5, 3, 2, 1. 1 foot drops. The other leg is straight. Down and up. So instead of working an isometric hold with this bridge, we are working bridges. So you're moving, squeezing that glute and then dropping it down. We'll do the other leg in the second round of this 5 minutes here. 8 more seconds. Oh, I feel it. See my hamstring, I feel it. So I really got to squeeze my glute. 5, 3, 2, 1. Kick it up. Rotations. Breathe through it. So we're trying to get all the way around the core. For the next minute coming up, we will be on our hands for the first 30 and then on our forearms for that plank. Stay in that raised plank if you need to, but coming up is mountain climbers, very slow ones. That's in 5, 4, flip it over, 3, 2, 1. Find that raised plank. Bring that knee up toward your tricep. Tap your toes. Feel those obliques turn on. Shoulders are stabilizing you again. I know they're sore from yesterday. Try to keep them working. In 15 seconds, we drop it into a plank and just hold it. If a low plank causes you trouble and you prefer a raised plank, stick with it. 3, 2, 1. If you can't, come down with me. We're here for 30, and then we flip it over right into those toe reaches. That's in 20 seconds. Rock your weight back into the balls of your feet. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads. 15 seconds. Belly button to spine, engage your core. Don't let those hips sag, right? Keep them up and strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, flip it over. We're halfway through. Feet go up, toe reaches, get right to it. No rest, no rest, no rest, unless you need it, of course, take it. Otherwise, 5 minutes time under tension on these abs, on these backs, on these obliques. All right, in 10 seconds, we hip bridge, other leg up. If you're doing those isolated, 3, 2, 1, let's do it. Bring that leg up, squeeze, and then let it go. Woo! You get to move in this one, so squeeze that glute and then let it go. That hamstring kind of has to let you down in there. That lower back has to lower you down. As you let go of that glute, we've got 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Come up halfway, arms out, and twist. That torso rotation or Russian twist or whatever you like to call it. If those arms out are too much, you're here. You can even be here, right? Just twist side to side. Just make sure you feel those obliques, that's all. Do your best. We got just over 1 minute of work. All right, in 4 seconds, 3, 2, flip it over. Very slow mountain climbers. Bring them up. Feel those obliques. Push those shoulder blades apart behind you. Don't forget about those shoulders. I know they're working hard. 15 seconds, and then we have a 30-second plank to finish. We got this. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find it. Your best plank. Squeeze your butt. Thighs are working. Hands out front or in prayer position. Belly button to spine. Top of your head kind of points to the wall in front of you. Your chin is dipped just a little. Don't let your head hang. 15 seconds. Eyes are out front a little. Straight line from the back, top of your head, all the way to your heels. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Woo. Breathe and recover. I've got sweat dripping all the way down the middle of my body. 4 minutes to stretch here. Grab a drink. Come all the way up to standing. Animal your way up. Use your resources. And we will stretch. Okay. Awesome, awesome job, you guys. We are gonna start with a full body stretch. Feet start together. Tuck one foot behind you. Reach all the way up. Feel that stretch go through your core, through your lats, and if you feel good, pull over to the side. You tucked that foot to this side. That's the way you're pulling. Try to make a C with your body. My runners in here. Good. IT stretch right here. Right? You're getting right into that hip and into your lats, which we used yesterday and today. Try to keep your hips and shoulders faced in one direction. Come up. And then let's get the other side. Breathe into that stretch. Come up. Come down in goalposts now. Pull your elbows and your shoulder blades together behind you. If that goalpost feels good and you need to work through those shoulders, a couple things you can do here. Rotate in there. Don't compromise those shoulders though. Just go with what's comfortable. If you want that spinal twist, try to keep your hips facing forward. Twist side to side. And then come down, clasp your hands behind you and open up that chest. I'm making my way toward my mat here. Coming back to the ground shortly. After we let go, clasp your hands in front, round your back just a little bit. Pull into the backs of your shoulders here. We got about 2 more minutes to stretch. All right, so hinge at your hips, come all the way down, hands to the ground, walk toward that down dog position. Let's find it. Maybe your heels stay on the floor this time because you're nice and warm and stretched and worked. Ears are right by the biceps, heels toward the ground, chest toward your thighs. Breathe, come down to a kneeling tabletop position. Breathe in, send your butt up and your head up. Breathe out and round up into that cat. I'm going to stay in tabletop, but I'm turning towards you because we're going to do that same chest stretch that we did at the beginning. We're going to put that hand out first and then drop. Follow your breath through this. So a little bit of a shoulder sequence here and chest sequence. Put together that leg sequence from the start and then this one from the finish. After we come out of that one, same side, open up, send it under now. Thread that needle underneath. I am going to put together a 10-minute stretch for you. That will include these. And post that up soon. All right, let's get that twist and then get the other side and then we'll get our 3 deep breaths. So I'm just sending that hand out, tuck it under, get into that shoulder and that chest. Breathe, come all the way up and tuck it under, get the back. Notice how you are stretching out that spine as well. All right, let's animal our way back up for our 3 breaths. Put my glasses back on so I can see you. Come on up. And let's go In with that breath, arms up. Remember that intention, take it with you, with it through your day, and arms down. Let's get a fold in this one as we take up space, breathe in all the way up, and fold all the way down. Breathe in for those who can't. Remember our privilege as we come down into that last squat, all the way down. And awesome work this morning, FitFly family. I'm gonna hit my recording in here, and then I'll tell you more about our pop-up coming up. Let's see, I'm going to hit this.